China has always been considered a difficult country to play. When constantly using one country to stab another, can you believe it? In 2005, the scientific world broke out an event that shocked the Chinese government and was considered a disgrace that never wanted to be repeated. More important than the price that the Chinese government has to pay is too expensive, nearly $1.5 billion United States dollars. So what is that for us to find out in today's video? Everyone knows that China is the most populous country in the world, and in addition to the above one, this country also wants to have another one. It is the most modern science and technology on the planet, and to do this, China has tried its best to compete with the West. What the US can do, China must do better. In technology, China does not hesitate to spend money to establish a high-tech park. And according to this country, it is no less than America's Silicon Valley. Shanghai is one of the most developed cities in China. Therefore, the leaders are always ambitious that this place can become the leading electronic chip manufacturing center in the world. At this moment, a famous figure in the scientific world appeared. This man's name was Chen Jin. Profile is impressive, with a PhD in computer engineering from the US, the first job Chen Jin's ferry after returning to China. Worked for Motorola's branch and later joined Shanghai Jiaotong University. After 3 years of research and teaching at Shanghai Jiaotong University, in 2003 Chen Jin announced a shocking news. That he and his team can design and manufacture DSP chip. Talk a little bit about this type of chip. At that time, DSP chip, also known as digital signal processing technology, was the priority of the Chinese government. By having digital signal processing technology in hand, it can be used in a variety of applications. For example, it is possible to adjust the diesel engine, handle voice calls remotely, process voice audio. In the electronics industry, the DSP chip is the soul of the sound. That's why at the time, all the learners, if they receive instructions to quickly build a chip that can process 200 million instructions per second. February 2003, Chen Jin published his research results as his Hanshin chip. After that, the Chinese press began to jump in praise. At that time, the Hanshin chip became the pride of the nation. The press praised this as the pride of the whole of China, immediately affirming that the Chinese microelectronics industry is not inferior to any other country. From now on, China will save billions of dollars. Chip Hanshin will be the application chip. In a variety of mobile phones, digital cameras and all kinds of digital devices made in China. It is true that at that time 83% of the chips on the Chinese market were imported from abroad. That's why Chen Jin is no different from a technology hero, when he carries a project such a great study. The proof is that on the day of the press conference announcing Chip Hanshin, the big characters attended. The people praised Chen Jin as a superhero. And to boost the morale of Chen Jin and his associates, according to ePort Time, the government gave him 10 billion yuan, equivalent to $1.5 billion United States dollars. Shanghai Jiaotong University also appointed Tran Kim as Dean of the Department of E-Wallets, even though he is not yet 40 years old. In 2004, Chen Jin released Hanshin 2 and Hanshin 3 chips again. His company is also preparing to sign a contract with IBM, a giant in the technology world. But at the peak of his career, Chen Jin was scandalized. The accuser was not a stranger but his colleague. In December 2005, this colleague sent a letter to Shanghai Jiaotong University. Declare the Hanshin chip as a scam. The DSP chip that Professor Chen Jin announced was actually bought from the US. At this point, many people will wonder what Chen Jin did to bypass the Chinese government like that. Then the answer is very simple. He bought a 16-bit Freescale DSP 56800 chip from Motorola. Then let all the migrant workers use sandpaper to remove the Motorola brand and then printed over the Hanshin logo. And thanks to his existing connections, Chen Jin has obtained many Hanshin certificates of his own production. Combined with all the qualifications and experience that Chen Jin brings, this chip has 100% credibility. At that time, the Chinese government was busy swaggering with Western countries, so no one cared if it was a fake or not. Shanghai Jiaotong University and the government have just begun to jump into the investigation. After the conclusion, the government and those who used to promote Hanshin chips don't know where to hide. Chen Jin was exposed for using American goods to paste Chinese goods, but what is worth mentioning here is before being found guilty, Chen Jin ran to the US with money and lived on a pile of money previously funded by the government. The incident has become one of the more painful scams for the Chinese government. losing money and gaining fame, and Chen Jin went from a tech hero to a national criminal. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to click like and subscribe to support IFACTS.